From RDS Wealth Management, this is The Retirement.
When you retire, if you want an exciting life, you need a boring investment strategy.
Matters.
If you enter into retirement without a plan for income, you're not retired, you're simply unemployed.
Podcast.
Hey, this is your host, Dale Smothers, and you're listening to the Retirement Matters Podcast. My hope is that you will find the information you need in every single show on how to do one of the three things: either saving more money more efficiently, planning better for your future where you can live in retirement worry-free, or my favorite, how you can live a happy and fulfilled life in this life you have been given. We know that your time is valuable, and we appreciate you spending it listening to this episode of the Retirement Matters Podcast. On this week's episode of the Retirement Matters Podcast, we go into the 5 worlds of retirement decision, and we discuss in detail 2 of the 5 roadmaps that we build inside of our Retirement Atlas, designed to get you through those worlds of decision. Now at RDS Wealth, we build 5 very distinct roadmaps for you. We bind them together and create your own Retirement Atlas. We have an income roadmap telling you how to take Social Security, pensions, and other sources of income from your portfolio if you need those. We have an investment roadmap, which tells you how to construct your portfolio to generate the necessary income if you need it, or perhaps to safeguard against market risk if you desire it, or perhaps to continue growing if your plans are to leave this money to someone and never really need it in the future. Clearly, we want to grow money for our clients, but ultimately the goal is to make sure that losses don't hurt us more than any gain could help us, and to generate the income necessary first and foremost. That's why the importance of an income plan done first are always referenced on this show. Then we build a tax roadmap, helping people navigate the tax situations that they may face. And we go into detail on that about today's podcast, specifically about how the tax roadmap can help bring extra value to a portfolio. Then we build the healthcare roadmap. The healthcare roadmap is really designed to help clients navigate Medicare and long-term care and all the complexities that are wrapped up in that. And we also discussed today briefly for about 2 minutes the importance of a legacy roadmap, which is the 5th roadmap we help clients build. Again, these 5 roadmaps help you navigate through retirement with more confidence and the ability to stop looking at the proverbial gas tank, your bank account, worrying about running out of money, and instead just enjoy the journey through retirement in all of its beauty. We are here to help you if you need any assistance, 270-600-PLAN, or navigate to our website, rdswealth.com. Be happy to help you in the future. We always welcome and very much encourage honest reviews, likes, thumbs up, subscriptions, whatever it may be that is on this podcast streaming service that you are using here. And we love whenever you tell your friends about us and send them our way for more episodes. And with that short intro out of the way and a request for your review, we bring you this episode of the Retirement Matters Podcast. Good morning to you. I hope you're doing well and you're ready to start discussing all things retirement matters. This morning, we are coming up on one of my favorite holidays, Father's Day, and a little bit biased, no doubt, to that holiday. 2 incredible boys of my own. If you're a father out there listening, happy Father's Day to you. We are big advocates of celebrating fathers and mothers. Clearly, the generation that will lead us tomorrow is being raised by us today. And I'm a big believer in what it takes for a father and a mother both to pour into the young men and women that they are raising. I'm blessed to be able to work with a lot of kiddos in some of my things that I do for fun. I get to coach basketball. I get to coach football. Able to help my boys get better at both of those sports as well as golf. And just really my hope is that we are making young men and women who realize how important it is to value human connection, to value people, to value their emotions, to value their feelings, because I believe that all of social media, all of the technology, it's just constantly attacking those skill sets for young people. we see a lot of young people who have maybe never been steered in the right direction, and it seems as if they care only about themselves. Unfortunately, maybe they have very limited ability to connect in a more human way. They're very connected socially on social media, but very socially awkward in person. And, one of the things that we instill in a lot of the young men and women that I'm able to help coach and teach is that this superpower of being able to look someone in the eye, shake their hand firmly, tell them something, and then commit to that with an intention of following through. This is what we call your word. To be able to do that and to be able to come through and fulfill your commitment to be good for your word, that is going to be a superpower for this generation to come, no doubt, because less and less people are possessing that. And it takes good fathers as well as mothers, but this is Father's Day weekend. It takes good fathers teaching that skill set to the young men and women that are to follow. So again, happy Father's Day to you guys out there. Happy Father's Day to my father. I know he's a big listener of the show, and I'm going to take you just for a second back on memory lane. As a young man, I remember my father teaching me that. I remember my father teaching me that hard work definitely pays off, but if you have to step on people to get where you're going in the wrong direction. If you have to use people to get where you're going, then you are headed in the wrong direction. And ultimately, the things that you do in this life will come back to you in one way or the other. You reap what you sow, and hard work, continued preparation, and at some point in the future, that preparation will meet a possibility or an opportunity. And when you are prepared and you are presented the opportunity, that's where succeed blossoms. And that's just something that I'm teaching my young men, Andrew and Matthew. So thank you, Dad. Thanks for those lessons. Thanks for who you are as a man. If you know my father, Cotton Smothers, you just can't beat him. And no doubt he's listening to this right now. So happy Father's Day to you this weekend. And thank you for all that you've done to make me the man that I am. And, in this spirit, as if that wasn't a pause for positivity enough, I actually do have a pause for positivity, maybe a thought for both fathers and mothers alike. Because at the end of the day, the time that we are in, if you're a father, if you're a grandfather, if you're a mother or a grandmother, you have an opportunity to impact generations to follow. And, this is an incredible time for us to be able to even impact greater than before. Now, I think it's common knowledge that every generation has had this. These young whippersnappers, they're not going to make any. Everybody's said that in the past. But I'm telling you, what is to come in the next 30 to 40 years is going to be scary when we consider ourselves as human beings. And the ability to tell human being from robot is going to become more and more difficult. And for this reason, authenticity, true connection, and true human emotion is going to be, again, a superpower that our young men and women need. And so we have the ability to impact kids today that will one day be adults. And one of the things that I love about my job as a father is when my kiddos will say from their room, perhaps, and especially my youngest, he always says, "Daddy, you want to play Nerf with me?" As a matter of fact, this happened just a few days ago. "Daddy, you want to play Nerf with me?" And it was not at an opportune time at all. And I don't say yes every time, clearly. But when you finally take the time to say yes, it's pretty incredible to see what joy that brings to them. And, one of my favorite things in the morning is seeing my boys come in and 10 and 7 years old and give me a hug. To be able to see them, is one of the first things they do, which we've taught them this, is to be able to come in and say, "How'd you sleep?" I slept well. How did you sleep?" That is incredible to me. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes those calls for a Nerf fight, they come at 8 in the morning on a Saturday. Sometimes they come when I'm busy. Sometimes I have 100 other things on my mind. But lately, I've caught myself thinking about something. Someday, he'll ask me to play Nerf for the very last time. Someday, I'll find little Nerf darts hidden in my suit closet for the very last time. Someday, I'll read those boys their very last bedtime story. And someday, I'll hear the words, "Daddy," rub my back for just another few minutes as I'm putting them to bed for the very last time. Someday, they will outgrow all of this. But someday is not today. Today, the Nerf darts are still scattered across the house from our most recent war. Today, the bedtime stories still matter. And today, there are still back rubs to be given and games to be played. Now, maybe for you, it's your child, or maybe it's your grandchild. Maybe they're asking to play. Maybe they just want your attention. Maybe it's even a spouse that you set on your porch for a few minutes and ask them about their day. Maybe it's a friend that you're calling just to talk. Whatever it may be, I don't want you to miss the treasures buried inside of your busy. A lot of times those treasures are buried inside of that busy to the point that if you don't dig for them, if you don't stop and pause in that moment, you'll miss it altogether. Don't overlook that magic that's hidden in the mess. Let's make sure we don't rush past the moments that one day we may wish we had back. And together, let's challenge one another. I'll challenge you, you challenge me. And together, let's realize that life is not lived in the big milestones nearly as much as it's lived in the ordinary moments that become extraordinary memories. This is our Pause for Positivity this week. Let's go through the entire week, slowing down just enough to notice the treasures that are buried in the busy. That's our Pause for Positivity as we head into this Father's Day weekend. I hope you enjoy it. I know that it's been on my mind lately, and I'm happy that I'm able to share it with you. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about taxes in retirement. We're going to be talking about legacy tools to not only save your beneficiaries tax money, but also make sure that you get as much tax benefit from those legacy plans now as you possibly can. Don't go anywhere. When we return, we are coming back with Retirement Matters right after this.
You're listening to the Retirement Matters Show with Dale Smothers. Dale is the founder and president of RDS Smothers Wealth Management, serving the residents of Kentucky and Tennessee. We specialize in building retirement plans that allow you to walk away from the worry of running out of money. We are happy that you're listening in and hope you find value in this week's episode. If you'd like to listen to past episodes and find exclusive content and full-length interviews, search for the Retirement Matters podcast on the podcast platform of your choice, or visit us online at rdswealth.com. While you're there, be sure to sign up for our free weekly newsletter. That website again is rdswealth.com. If you'd like to chat with a member of our team, you can do so absolutely free by calling 270-600-PLAN. That's 270-600-PLAN. Visit us online at rdswealth.com and be sure to sign up for our free weekly newsletter.
All right, welcome back to the show. You know, many people that we talk to for the first time are not aware of everything that we do when they come in and chat with us. And some of them have heard us on the radio show. Some of them have seen us on Fox Business or CNBC. Some of them have just ran into an advisor, maybe here or there, that works for our team. But when we begin to discuss with them everything that we help them through in retirement, it becomes very clear that we stand out amongst a lot of brokers. You know, there are a lot of quote unquote financial advisors that offer very little advice whatsoever. Instead, they just buy stocks and bonds for you. And let me tell you, this is very important in retirement income phase. You've got to make sure you own the right things, but you cannot put all of your eggs in the basket of, I hope my money grows enough for me to outpace all of these issues that I will face in retirement. And when you think, well, what issues are you talking about, Dale? Well, clearly, we're talking about not running out of money, first of all. We're talking about not letting the market take money that you demand for income without you saying, hey, I want that money. We don't want money disappearing from the account just because the stock market has a bad day. We also need to make sure that we understand what tax we'll pay on your money that you are growing. So if you're just in growth mode, sometimes you will pay unnecessary and unexpected taxes. And we'll get into that in just a few minutes. And you also want to know how to choose Medicare. What choices should you take? Are there things that you should be doing right now to be better prepared for long-term care? Or, God forbid, something happens that you go into the nursing home, to make sure that the house is not taken from you or your spouse. And then, of course, we need to make sure that your legacy goals, the goals that you have for this money when you are gone, that they align with the way that you have structured your portfolio. Now, I've just briefly mentioned one or two decisions that you must make in 5 main areas of retirement. And we directly address all 5 of those with the clients we work with. We make sure we have a good, strong plan for income. We begin to work with your income plan to make sure it's not only optimized, but it's supported by the investments that you are choosing. That's where the income and investment piece become very much intertwined with one another. We know that in the tax side of things, we've got to make sure we aren't unnecessarily taxing your Social Security, unnecessarily taxing your money that you want to leave to your kids, unnecessarily, or let's say overtaxing the income that you bring out. And we also want to make sure that we are not missing opportunities in the tax code to help save substantial amounts of money in taxes later in life. We move on to the healthcare portion with our clients, where we begin discussing the idea that, hey, at some point in time, you're going to need to take Medicare. And when that time comes, we're going to help you make heads and tails of this alphabet soup that you must weed through between Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D, and then Plan A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. All of these things that if you've already been through that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And too many times people go through that alone. We help them navigate that. Do you need a supplement? Yes or no? Do you need a dental and vision plan? Yes or no? And if so, we go shopping for you to help you obtain those things. And then, of course, in that healthcare plan, we need to address long-term care expenses. How do we make sure that the nursing home doesn't take things that you value greatly if you had intended on passing them on to a loved one? And this is where the legacy plan comes in, where we begin discussing wills, powers of attorney, whether or not you need trust. What types of trust do you need, if you need any at all? Are the beneficiaries correct? And is there something that we can put into motion today to help protect that legacy in the event that you do, in fact, find yourself in a nursing home later in life? And lastly, do you have any philanthropic plans? Or in other words, do you plan on giving money to charities or organizations that we could essentially benefit today, that would not only benefit them, but also greatly benefit you and your tax situation? So again, all of these begin to start to intertwine with one another. Like, for instance, Social Security. Are you taking Social Security at the correct time? Well, that goes into your investment plan. That goes into your income plan. That goes into your tax plan. It could even go into your legacy plan. All of these things must talk with one another. And we see so often people who come into our office that have been working with a good growth advisor for years, but have never actually discussed any of these things other than maybe once a year they get together and they look at the stocks or bonds, or even worse, the mutual funds that they own, and realize, okay, the money's growing. Is it growing as well as it should? I don't know, because we don't have a real plan for how much income I need. We don't understand really what kind of tax situation I'm going to find myself in when I get into retirement. Should I be taking Roth conversions? Well, we don't know, because we don't know how much of this money we need for income and how much of this money will actually be left behind to loved ones. And at that point, do Roth conversions even make sense? They leave their annual meetings with more questions than they do answers. And we seek to completely change that narrative with the clients we serve. This is often why we can't offer a partnership to every client, because we give so much attention to the details that matter, that it's not as if we're out just trying to win every single client and say, yeah, bring your money here and we'll grow it. Instead, we are very diligent in our process and making sure that a client's retirement is everything they want it to be, and that we have crafted the plans to hopefully be able to get them there. Now, clearly, we invest people's money. It's what we do for a living. But we don't do this just blindly hoping we hit our target. Instead, we have a a map lined out to help our clients achieve their objectives. As a matter of fact, we have 5 maps. We have 5 main maps for all 5 areas of retirement decision: income, investment, tax, healthcare, and legacy. These 5 maps must talk with one another, as I've mentioned briefly in this section. But when we come back from break, I want to break down one specific map. One map that is extremely important, and so much so that we understand that it could even add as much as 20 or 30% of value without taking an ounce of added risk in the stock market. And I intend to discuss that map in a little bit more detail when we come back from this break. I'm going to go into the map itself, how we build it, and why it's important for you, especially as you enter into retirement income phase. So if you are close to retirement or you're in retirement and you are wanting to lower some taxes and increase the value of your retirement portfolio, you're not going to want to miss this next section. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back right after this.
Thank you for listening to Retirement Matters, presented by RD Smothers Wealth Management. If you'd like to speak with us, give us a call at 270-600-PLAN. And if you enjoy the information in this show and would like to hear more, you can access previous shows by searching for the Retirement Matters podcast on the podcast platform of your choice. We also produce a weekly newsletter. Receive it free to your email inbox by signing up online at rdswealth.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Let's jump into this first map that I want to dive into a little bit more in detail. And again, we build 5 roadmaps for a retiree. Those 5 maps are bound together for you in written format. We call it the Retirement Atlas. You walk away after about 6 to 12 months of a relationship with our firm. You walk away with an understanding of how you will address 5 main areas, huge points of decision around retirement. How you will invest your money going through retirement, how you will take income from your portfolio through retirement, as well as when you should take Social Security, how you should elect your pension, and everything else that revolves around your income. You will have a plan and a map for how your income will be taxed in retirement, and if there are ways to lower your lifetime tax bill on your overall retirement account. You will have a plan for how you will navigate long-term care expenses as well as Medicare choices at the age of 65. And that relieves a lot of stress from your plate in thinking you've got to go understand the complexities of Medicare, because we do all of that right here in-house. And then we lastly will start to line out your legacy goals, understanding the desires that you have for this money if and when you pass away, and making sure that we are doing this as tax efficiently as possible, as well as taking full advantage of any kinds of opportunities we may find today to be able to do those plans that you desire when you pass, but reap benefits from them while you are alive. This is what we do for you in the Retirement Atlas. We build these maps, and they tell you exactly which way you should be going. And then, of course, we have to update them on a regular basis. Typically, once a year, we're reevaluating where you are and readjusting those maps to tell you what the next turns need to be. That sounds like something you need help with. Our team is here, 270-600-PLAN. We can help you throughout the retirement journey. Now, one of those maps in particular that I want to focus in on for the next 2 to 3 minutes is the tax roadmap. The tax roadmap is perhaps one of the most important roadmaps in the overall atlas. Now, it's hard for me to say this because income is very important. We talk about that often. The investment roadmap is very important because we talk about that often. But the tax roadmap really is a roadmap that you must have whether you need all of the money that you have saved or you have so much money that you have no danger whatsoever of running out. This is a roadmap that will help both ends of that spectrum, because this roadmap, this tax roadmap that we help you build, has a potential to add as much as 10, 20, or 30% extra value to your portfolio over your lifetime. You may be thinking, how's that possible? Well, because we believe at RDS Wealth, and we know this to be true. We've done it with many clients in the past. And we believe that if we can provide 20 or 30% worth of tax savings to a client over their lifetime, and show that by making certain moves in the tax code today, we can save taxes in the future. And perhaps by projections, we've saved you 10, 20, or 30% of the tax bill you would have paid. It's the same as making an extra 10, 20, or 30% in extra returns on your investments, but without having to take any extra risk. And this is huge. It's a needle mover for a lot of retirees because at the end of the day, in retirement, it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you get to keep. And we know this is true. We have talked to enough retirees at our firm, and I keep saying we because I want you to understand we wrap a team around you, a team of advisors looking at your account on a regular basis from a clinical point of view, where you have multiple advisors looking at your plan, making sure that we're making the right decision on your behalf as a firm. And so when we look at a retiree's portfolio and their tax plan and couple them together, what we find oftentimes is that there is something called an opportunity zone in the tax code they're currently operating in. And typically it's sometime between, say, 59 to around 63, 64 that we can be pretty aggressive in that opportunity zone. And then after the age of Medicare, maybe we got to dial it back just a little bit, but there's still often opportunities to pay a known rate in your taxes as opposed to waiting until later and paying an unknown rate in that tax bracket to come. And who knows what that looks like, especially since our country is very much in debt. With a national debt approaching $40 trillion, it's very likely that our tax code will change to have more income taxed at a higher rate. And so what we believe is that if you will put some proactive planning into place inside of this tax roadmap, it will save you a pretty substantial amount of tax money in the future. And we also know that there are people who are currently being invested right now with the same growth mindset of 20 years ago, where they should have transitioned into income phase mindset. And they're getting these dividends, they're getting these bond yields, they're getting these capital gains that are just not necessary for their overall income plan. And for that reason, they're having to pay unnecessary taxes. This is another area that we can expose with a properly structured tax roadmap. And if we can put red flags out there for you to see, and then together commit to steering you around these potential potholes in your tax roadmap, we know that we can help save substantial amounts of taxes for most of the clients we work with. This is huge. And I'm going to tell you, it's just not something that a lot of advisors are even looking at. We do at RDS Wealth because we are a comprehensive, holistic, big picture kind of firm that looks at your investments along with everything else that you have to make decisions on in retirement and begins to craft a plan that is structured to benefit you more than it is the firm that you're working with. At RDS Wealth, we are fiduciaries, not only legally, but ethically and morally. Internally, our team takes your best interest to heart every single time we make a decision. And if it's not in your best interest, the decision doesn't get made. That's our commitment to you. If you would like to talk to our team, 270-600-PLAN. That's how you get in touch with us. You can walk in anytime to one of our offices in Campbellsville or Bowling Green, or simply navigate to our website, rdswealth.com, and set up a time for one of our advisors to reach out to you at a time that is convenient to you. Make that happen today. All right, we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we are going into another piece of the roadmap, and I am already out of time, so we're going to make this a 30-second break, and we're jumping into the Retirement Atlas portion we call the Legacy Roadmap. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back with more Retirement Matters right after this.
You're listening to the Retirement Matters Show with Dale Smothers. Dale is the founder and president of RD Smothers Wealth Management. We specialize in building retirement plans that allow you to walk away from the worry of running out of money. If you'd like to chat with a member of our team, you can do so absolutely free by calling 270-600-PLAN. That's 270-600-PLAN. Visit us online at rdswealth.com and be sure to sign up for our free weekly newsletter.
All right, welcome back to the show. We are jumping into the legacy roadmap here as we wrap up the show this morning. Time has flown by. The legacy roadmap has one objective, and that is to make sure that this money that is left over, if and when you are gone, is passed on to the right people in the ways that you desire with the right amount of efficiency in both the tax code and the ease of transfer. If you are not careful and your legacy plan is not addressed, you may inadvertently send this money to the wrong people when you are no longer here, or you may send it to the right people, but do it in the most inefficient way, making them pay taxes that would not have otherwise been necessary, or even worse, having them face penalties because there was no plan in the first place. This is something we help address inside of our legacy roadmap. As we build these 5 roadmaps for you, this particular roadmap is one of the pieces that we put together to make sure you have wills in place, your powers of attorney in place, your trust, if you need them, are discussed and put into place. And together, our objective is to build this comprehensive, holistic approach to your retirement to get you from where you are today to where you want to be in the future. This is our commitment to you, and we are here ready to help you make this a reality. All it takes is a simple phone call, 270-600-PLAN. We're here to help you invest your money, save your money, plan well with your money, and ultimately live happy in retirement, knowing you will not run out of money. This is our goal. This is our commitment, and we're here to help you. 270-600-PLAN, rdswealth.com. Feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to sit down with you and explain exactly how these things can benefit you. And if it makes sense, we will even begin to partner with you to help you navigate through this retirement journey together. All right, until we talk again, always remember, save money, plan well, and live happy. And to all of the fathers out there, all the grandfathers, great-grandfathers, happy Father's Day to you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep pouring into these young men and women because, again, this is the future. And everything is riding on you and me to teach them how to be. All right. Enjoy your weekend. God bless.
Investing involves a risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This radio show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. RDS Wealth Management is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by RDS Wealth Management.